Welcome to the NS9 Postgame Show, powered by Primanti Bros. I am Ryan. With me is Doug. The Pirates defeat the Dodgers, a shutout, 3-0 victory, Paul Skenes Day. What a wild one in Dodger Stadium, Doug. What is going on tonight?
No, what a great game. I mean, Paul Skenes, so often we come on here. I know you have the same problem I do, and we have to be redundant and repeat ourselves about lack of hitting, lack of fundamentals. It's so nice to be coming and have to be redundant about how great Paul Skenes is. I mean, I've said everything I can say about Paul Skenes, but I'm happy to say it all again because he was just fantastic tonight.
Yep. Yeah, we'll get into all of it. Look at this. Sean Hooper at the game. He's got NS9 on volume 10 in the Dodgers parking lot. Hopefully, Sean, you'll get out of there sooner than what I hear.
But the Dodger fans can't hear it because they're all going crazy for a pop up to the second baseman. Golly, every single little pop up.
I was going to bring that up. What do you think that was like? Was that just the audio that's like on the crowd, or were they like every fly ball to center or pop up was like they went nuts like it was a home run?
Yeah, I've only experienced that one other time. I spent a summer up in Minnesota in 1987, the year the Twins won their first World Series, and they weren't the biggest baseball fans at that time. They've become much better fans since, and they didn't. I mean, foul ball. I mean, they just went crazy for every little thing that happened, and that's what it reminded me of tonight. It's like
it was every time. Every time.
Yeah. It was just I mean, you'd hear the crowd cheer, you'd look up and it's like, there's Cruz taking 10 steps in to get something. So, I don't know if the beautiful people out in LA don't know exactly what's happening or if it's piped in noise or what, but it was odd.
Well, hey, the Pirates win tonight. So you know the drill. NS9 After Dark here. We're giving away sandwiches. Get your hashtag raise that's in there. We'll be collecting those all show. Get them in. It'll enter you to chance to win Primanti sandwiches at the end of the show. We'll give away 4, 2 each to 2 people. So that'll be coming at the end of the show. Before we get started, Doug, we got a lot to talk about tonight, but let me just tell you about Bet Online. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the home stretch of the NBA and NHL playoffs. Has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from MLB, NHL, UFC, Bet Online remains the number one online source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to Bet Online Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Bet Online, the game starts here. This game started with Paul Skenes, Doug. Coming into today, Paul Skenes, he kind of, we heard a lot in the offseason and spring training about how he wanted to be more efficient. Early on this season, we've seen him, I think, be more efficient. We've also heard that the reins were going to be taken off him and kind of let him go as far as he can go and everything. And we've seen the velocity, we haven't seen like the 102, 101 from Skenes this year. So coming into today, Dodgers lineup at iconic Dodger Stadium, Paul Skenes was everything you've come to expect from him. Efficient, striking out. I mean, this Dodgers lineup, Doug, has no breaks in it. There's no rest.
Yeah, they don't have a Pham, Frazier, Kiner Falefa, Canario stretch is what you're saying. Henry Davis.
There's no breaks in this lineup. So he came in and he was cruising from the beginning on. 9 strikeouts, goes 6 1/3 innings. 5 hits, no walks, no runs, obviously. What'd you see from Paul Skenes tonight?
Yeah, early he looked a little out of whack. I mean, he was effective, but he wasn't efficient. I mean, he had 40 pitches, I think, through first two innings, that sort of thing. And I was thinking, if there's a criticism, for Paul Skenes, it's that he's not that efficient. We need to get him that dope T-shirt, Department of Pitching Efficiency. We need to have him sit down with Dennis Santana, but I mean, my goodness. Yeah, I mean, he just rises to the moment, right? Yeah, this is so desperately why we want to get to the playoffs with this guy, because he's not going to blink, right? He is going to step up, in that kind of situation. He is the kind of guy that can win you 3 games in a 7-game series, and then pitch in game 7 for 4 or 5 innings, out of the bullpen or something. I mean, he had 9 strikeouts, no walks, 5 hits, 3 of those hits to the number 9 hitter, Andy Pages. And yeah, I mean, he just, again, that Hall of Fame, first 3 guys that he's facing, it doesn't phase him. I mean, it does phase him, but in a positive way, right? He doesn't get scared. He's like, let me show you, right? And it's just so impressive. We're so lucky that we have him, and it's just. And it was so nice. They got him a run in the first inning, that sort of thing. And the further we went, I was like, oh, that could be enough. Paul Skenes is going to get it done, and he got more efficient as the game went on. He's just special. He's just spectacular. He's generational. Um, Please improve this team so he can, drag us to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's protect Paul Skenes at all costs. He is him. It's just, and again, you're right. He rises to the occasion. I mean, this is the world champs, and he shut him down. And like you said, you talked about that one critique of him, not being efficient, and that's kind of where, like, they're just coming into the start. Like, there was something off a little bit about Skenes, and that, like, I'm not gonna, but like against the Dodgers lineup, like, I didn't need him to be efficient, but tonight,
Right.
like you said, he got more efficient as he went on. He had the strikeouts. And he just, I mean, how about, and he seems to get even more locked in or dialed in when somebody's on base. So I forget what inning that was. Freddie Freeman was at the 3rd or the 4th. He
Yeah.
leads
Yeah.
off with a
Exactly.
double, gets to 3rd because the ball gets past Reynolds, and he's on 3rd with no outs. And Skenes just bears down and just gets the next 3 outs like it's nothing against the
Right. Right.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
And
Without a
that
change in expression, or without, without getting red in the face, anything.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch. Like you say, don't take Paul Skenes for granted. Like, hopefully this front office figures out what they have in Skenes eventually. But
Right.
um,
I hope so.
yeah, it was amazing tonight, and it almost, the way the game went on. Like you said, the Pirates got a run, and you're thinking, okay, it's nice. We got a run off, but we're going to get more than one? Is it enough? And then the Pirates get 3, and then the way the bullpen shook out, like, it just seemed like it was the Pirates' night. Nothing could go wrong.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm running out of stuff to say about Paul Skenes, Doug. It's just a
Yeah.
fabulous start. So he
Yeah. If
gets through
there,
6. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if like you said, if there was a night that he wasn't going to be real efficient, you don't mind against this lineup. All right, if you're
Right.
going to be a little fine tuned, maybe nibble a little. It's because there's a 50-50 guy leading off, and then an MVP, and then another MVP. But it's just, yeah, he was terrific. Yeah, what more can we say? I mean, Paul Skenes is the man. We're lucky. We're lucky that we have him, and hopefully we can maximize his skill set.
Yeah, his curveball tonight, Doug, threw that 16 times, was just ridiculous. That his sweeper, I mean, he had that strikeout. So he faced Ohtani 3 times. When he faced him and struck him out on the sweeper, I mean, it's just, it was theater.
Yeah,
It was theater, and yeah, Ohtani didn't have any answers for him.
yeah. I mean, it's just so exciting to watch, right? I mean, it, it's just so unusual, as we've been following this team for years, to have this kind of big moments happen in games. it's April still. You know what I'm saying? And this is just high drama and exciting because you're seeing two of the best, at it. And our 22-year-old pitcher who is, doesn't have 30 starts in yet in the major leagues is going up against these guys and just, not at all phased, not at all, intimidated. I mean, he's the one that's setting the tone. He's the one
Yeah.
that's dictating the action, and it's really something.
Like if you just tuned into a Pirate game and hadn't seen the Pirates in 10, 15 years, Doug, you would think that Skenes is like a 10-year vet.
Yeah.
And we said that last year when he came up, and it sounded absurd, but it's just true. Like, and you said somebody gets on and he just there's no change in his game. Like he just bears down and gets the, just goes on with his business and gets the outs.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he knows he has to be basically perfect with this offense.
Right.
He doesn't have any margin for error, which, I mean, I've never been a pitcher, Doug, but I can't imagine that's a good feeling to be pitching behind when you have to be near perfect.
Well, I think we've seen
But
it
he can
break
handle it.
other pitchers, right? I mean, I think
Yeah.
I think we've had other pitchers who just like, oh my God, I've given up a run in the fifth inning. It's over, that sort of thing. And not him. He's risen to it. All those little cliches, he is not a thrower, he's a pitcher, right? This early in with that kind of velocity, and he doesn't rely on it.
No, he
He
toned it
uses it
down
when
from last year.
necessary. Yeah, you're right.
Really?
It reminds me of an old Troy Aikman quote. After he had surgery, they said, "Are you worried it's going to take a few miles off your fastball?" And he goes, "I've got some to spare." And that's
He
Paul
does.
Skenes, man. It's like, yeah, I don't need to throw 100. 99's fine. 98's fine, because all my other pitches and my impeccable control and my mindset and everything else. His approach is just, I mean, it's just so much fun to watch. It's so exciting.
It is.
I mean, it's exciting watching him in the first inning. You just can't wait to see what he's going to do next, what he's going to throw next, how he's going to react. It's really great.
Doug, it was even exciting with Joe Block and Kevin Young on the game call on a West Coast game. Like,
Yeah.
I love Kevin Young, but whew,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tough listen at times with those two.
And it kills me because he does have good insight, but the monotone, man, please get a little voice inflection, please.
Yeah, because even like Joe Block was getting like excited on some of this stuff, and then you just go to
Right.
Kevin Young and he's like, "Wow, like it's just
That
like
was a
so
great pitch
monotone."
to
Yeah,
Shohei Ohtani. He's pitching really well.
yeah,
But
but it's
yeah.
exciting. You're right. But hey, guys, get your hashtag raise it's in. We'll give away some Primanti sandwiches today after the show.
And how good
Um,
are those sandwiches going to taste? Man, come
mm,
on. After a Paul
Paul
Skenes
Skenes
victory.
sandwiches, they taste
Yeah.
better. They have to
Yeah.
taste better. So, all right. So he gets through 6 innings, 6 shutout innings. He's at 100 pitches, Doug.
Right.
We're pretty sure that's the end of his day. You got Baraki and Bednar warming up in the bullpen. And Shelton brings out Skenes for the 7th. And there was a couple things that happened late in this game, Doug, that I was not expecting.
Yeah.
And
I was
this
shocked.
was one of them. And
Yeah.
we've heard about them say that they're going to take the reins off of him, and we're not pitching him every 6th day like they did last year, and they're going to let him go to 100 and beyond. And they bring him out for the 7th. I was stunned. I was floored. Now
Yeah.
he faced one batter, got his 9th strikeout, and then they pulled him at that point. He finished at 108 pitches.
108 pitches. Yeah.
But is that something like what did Shelton? Did somebody kidnap Shelton? Did he fall asleep?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. Well, I was sure that he had been possessed by, Danny Murtaugh, Chuck Tanner or something. But then he did something a little later in the game, that made me think, oh, no, he's back. Someone exercised, whoever had possessed him to let Skenes come out for it.
Something.
Yeah. Because, I mean, yeah, I was stunned. It was right before the commercial break. They said, and Skenes is coming back. I'm like, what? And again, it was only for one batter, but it was smart. You got the strikeout. It worked. And yeah, I'd like to see, I would really like to see them let Skenes, pitch into the 7th and 8th innings. Actually, I thought he'd be sort of forcing their hand at this point about that. But not yet. But hopefully, right, he's going to keep asserting himself, in this organization and with this team, because he is definitely the kind of leader this team could use. And I think it's much, you might be 22, but it's much easier to lead when you're the best pitcher in baseball than when you're hitting 177 and, are 38. So,
Right. And Skenes has that, we talk about him being more like a vet out there than a 22-year-old rookie. Like you just have the feeling that he could have went 120, 130. Like he's a throwback, Doug. And it's like I
yeah.
think they could have easily. I'm not advocating for him to go 130 pitches, but I'm pretty sure he could have and would have just been fine. So like that's the kind of pitcher you have in Paul Skenes.
Yeah,
Um,
it often looks effortless for him, right? I mean, he does not look he doesn't look gassed in the sixth
mm,
inning after he's thrown 90, 5 pitches or something like some of our other
no,
pitchers do.
we haven't
He
seen
does
really face him.
no,
Not yet. Not
no, yeah, right. I agree with you. I like I said, same. I don't want to see him pitching 135 pitches, and that's maybe just because I've been conditioned. God, when I first started watching baseball, they went to 130 pitches all the time. So, but yeah, I mean, I mean, he's a big, strong dude. He's got an easy, repeatable motion, like I said, he doesn't. It very often it looks effortless with him. So, yeah,
yep.
I can see him, giving us some innings and throwing a few more pitches and that sort of thing. And there's no reason not to let him sort of push the boundaries a little more.
Yep. Yep. They're calling for me to do a car bomb with my Guinness here, Doug. I will say this: if the Pirates make the playoffs, I will do that live on a post game show. So I'll be ready for it. So make
I'm
the
here for
playoffs.
it. I am
Bill,
here for it.
put some offense around Skenes, please.
Right.
All right. So Skenes leaves after 108 pitches. Baraki comes in, gets the final 2 outs of the seventh. No problems. Baraki solid as usual. What we've seen from him this year. We go for the eighth, Doug, and another curious decision comes about. Shelton goes with Denny Santana in the eighth, leaving Bednar for the ninth. And hey, it all worked out. Denny Santana, scoreless eighth. Bednar came in, scoreless ninth. I don't know what happened here. I know you have some thoughts on it. The only thing, Doug, and I don't know, this might be giving the Pirates and Shelton a little too much credit. The only thing I could think of here is that he wanted Santana to face the top of the Dodgers order because
Yeah.
he faced Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman, and then
Right.
Bednar got 4, 5, and 6. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing that I could think of there. And I mean, in that case, I get it, but what'd you think there?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that crossed my mind too. Right. You were putting your better pitcher and the guy you're more confident in against their better hitters. Um, Still, we also have Caleb Ferguson. We have other guys. You don't have to pitch Bednar. It's not
Right.
in his contract. Bednar could have sat today out. I mean, I hope Bednar's all the way back. And he sure looked at today. And he's looked at his last two outings. But I mean, I also don't think there's no reason that we couldn't let him pitch in the sixth, seventh, eighth inning for a month or just 2 or 3 weeks to make sure he's all the way back. Let's see it. Let's a good outing against the Angels. They're not exactly the 27
Right.
Yankees there. I mean, yes, he did it. But yeah, Bednar, I mean, Bednar did the job. I think our buddy Neil would tell us that this was a Derek Shelton masterclass, the way he used the bullpen. I'm not so sure.
Right.
I was nervous. From the time Santana came in the eighth, I'm like, oh no! Like I was already worried about the ninth. Confident that Santana was going to
Yeah.
get us through, but I'm like, oh,
I
this
was
is
even
not going to
thinking,
be
I was
good.
like, well, maybe I was trying to talk myself out. I'm like, well, maybe Santana's going to go 2 innings.
Right, right.
That's the
Because he's
plan here.
so efficient, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the plan. No,
and
that's what I said. Shelton. I mean, nothing could. This was the Pirates' night. Like, as soon as Bednar came in and started getting outs, it was like, oh, nothing can go against us tonight. But Shelton definitely. I mean, he was testing fate there because, like you said,
yeah.
sure, Bednar might be back, but like against, we saw him against the Angels. Like, I'm not there yet. Like, and I tweeted it out when he was warming with Baraki in the seventh. like, or actually in the 6th. I'm like, sorry, I don't want to see Bednar tonight. Like, let's,
Right.
Ferguson, Baraki, Santana, like that's kind of the way I would have been going with it. But hey, it worked out. Santana gets the top of the order. And then, Bednar closes it out. Pirates win 3-0.
And I thought it was possible that they're trying to pump up Bednar's trade value, get him back into that closer role, make him look
Could be
good,
it.
trade him in his, what does he get? 4.5, 5 million, almost $6 million, contract. That would be a very piratey thing to do. And not get, we'll get a single A, shortstop that can't play shortstop or something. um,
Hey, Doug,
so I mean, hey, it
we might
worked
be
out.
buyers. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yes, we could be, but we were buyers last year, and we got Brian De La Cruz. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But so guys, get your hashtag raise it's in. We are giving away sandwiches. I think we got 82 entries in there, so keep them coming. Hashtag raise it. All right, so that was the pitching side of things, Doug. Just a fabulous game all around. Skenes and the bullpen. Let's talk some Pirates offense. There wasn't much of it, but they did enough. They scored 3 runs, and in most Paul Skenes starts, that's going to be enough.
Right. And they did it against Yamamoto, right?
Right.
I mean, he has not given up an earned run in the month of April. Like his last earned run was in March. He's in a great pitcher's park. He's got everything. Yes, tough matchup in Skenes, but that's a lineup you have to look at and say, okay, I'm going to have I'm going to pad some stats today. And they scratched out 3 runs. Thank you, Oneil Cruz.
Yeah. Cruz leads off the game with the walk, steals his 12th bag of the season, which Jim and I were just talking about Skenes' 40-60 year that he's going to have, and he kept a long pace with the stolen base tonight, but he steals second, and he gets, I think it was it Valdez? Yeah, Valdez drives him in that first inning. They get on the board 1-0. They add 2 more runs in the 5th. Brian Hayes comes through. We've talked about Hayes and his exit velo, and it's some of the underlining metrics are looking better for him, but it wasn't really showing up on the field. But he comes through today, big hit, gets the RBI, and the Pirates, like you said, they scratch out 3 runs against a very good pitcher, and they walked. Yamamoto had 4 walks against the Pirates, which he was just kind of. He was, I wouldn't say he was erratic, but he just wasn't. I don't think as crisp as he's seen. I think they said it was the first time he's walked 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah, it's the first time he's walked 4 in
the majors.
Since he was pitching in Japan. So
right. So he wasn't really. I wouldn't say on, but the Pirates, made him pay. They got 4 walks, and hey, they only scored 3 runs, but we only needed 1 tonight, and they got it done. So I'll give them that.
I think we have to start taking Valdez, somewhat seriously. Past 2 weeks, he's been hitting the ball pretty well. He's hit the ball hard. He's drawn some walks. He's, come up with some timely hits. That again, if he can add just a little depth, because who we're counting on are Cruz, Reynolds, Kutch, and Bart. Basically, if you can throw Valdez in there, and then maybe one of these other guys can, or just, if they can just chip in a little, Hayes, if Hayes can start, suddenly it's like, wow, those first 6 guys don't look so bad. Then you might be able to scratch out a run or 2, that sort of thing. And again, our pitching is good. Our starting pitching is good. Our bullpen is good. We don't need to score 7 runs a game to win. If we can get 3 and 4, that sort of thing, we should be in a lot of games. So I'm, like I said, it was nice. Cruz doing his thing, but Kutch knocks in a run, Valdez knocks in a run, Hayes knocks in a run. Again, it's the upper, part of the lineup. But you throw Joey Bart in there instead of Henry Davis, and it's, if you squint, and keep reminding yourself that Skenes pitches every 5th day, you can start thinking, hey, look,
I'm tired of squinting, Doug.
Yeah, I know. But they've won 3 games on a West Coast trip. Really should be on their 4th win here. But we will not discuss that
Yeah.
terrible managing job yesterday. But yeah, I mean, they've guaranteed themselves a 500 road trip to Los Angeles. And I think most of us seem to think that we'd be lucky to go 1-5.
Yeah.
There was a lot of doom and gloom, on the social medias about, what a bad road trip this is. Will Shelton be fired if this road trip, if we get swept on this road trip, that sort of thing. And they've got 3 in with 2 to go, and with Keller and Falter pitching, and again, we have a chance. The team's hitting, is a little better. Get one more of this. You think go 4-2 on this road trip? I mean, much more than that. Than I was expecting for sure, and
Right.
and more than you can really ask for. So
Yeah. And like I said, we probably won't get another win this series. You're coming back and you got who they face tomorrow. Is it
it's Keller is pitching for us. Who is pitching for the Dodgers?
it's
Sasaki
Sasaki.
tomorrow.
Yeah. And then I believe Glass now. So like the Pirates are going to be 2-1 dogs easily in those games.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, you wanted to get this one. You had the lead. They held on to it with the bullpen. Like it was picture perfect for the Pirates tonight, and you needed it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the rest of the offense. I mean, when is Nick Gonzalez and Horowitz coming back? When are they coming? Like,
I
are we
don't know.
close?
Yeah. I mean,
like you
keep
said,
hearing.
like you got you got Valdez. Cruz obviously is locked in. You have Kutch and Reynolds. Like you add Horowitz and Nick Gonzalez back into this. Like you might have something. Like, can we at least get an average offensive lineup in here? So hopefully we'll get there. But
Well, I mean, that's kind of what we aspire to offensively, right? If Cabrian Hayes could just be an average offensive player, if we could just have an average offense, to go with this pitching. So we're not, we're not asking, like I said, we're not asking to go out and get Soto and Judge here. Just get us a couple, let's get 7 guys that are average or above average, and then, whatever you get from the 8th and 9th is fine. But if we could just, a little better, make some incremental improvements, with the pitching as good as it's been and as good as it can be, we could claw back a little bit here and make the season a little more interesting instead of like the, funeral march it looked like it was starting out to be there for a while.
All right, guys. Yeah, get your hashtag raise it's in. We are going to get that giveaway going here on this Pirates 3-0 victory. So, yeah, we'll give you guys a couple seconds. Hashtag raise it's. Get it in there. If you got it in early, the giveaway tool here hit me with an error. So try to get those hashtag raise it's in again. Make sure you're entered because it kind of crapped out on me. So get the hashtag raise it's in. We'll be giving away the tickets tonight, or not tickets, the sandwiches. So we'll give you guys a couple seconds to get those in. But Doug, are you on any of the next 2 shows, the next 2 nights?
I'm on Sunday.
There you go. But yeah, also what's coming up, we got the Pirates, we got the NS9 tailgate
May 24th against Milwaukee,
against the Brewers. Yeah, come out for that. Like, subscribe. We appreciate all the support. Hit the bell on YouTube so you get the notifications.
I mean, it is, what time is it? It is
late.
Nearly 1:30 in the morning, and look at our chat. Dear Lord, I don't know if this is good, or do you people like like you're like us? You need some help, man. We need to get Bob Newhart, group therapy going or something. Because
hey, and this is usually when it's a loss, it is group therapy. But hey, tonight was a great win. So a bunch of sickos here, as Jim says.
Yeah.
All right, so you can talk, Doug. I got to figure out how to share this screen again. I haven't done this in over a year.
All right. Well, I mean, look, tonight is the blueprint for a Pittsburgh Pirates win, right? You get great starting pitching, you get very effective bullpen, and just some timely hitting from your best hitters, and that's how it started the season. We said you got it up there, buddy. That's how they're going to have to win, and they were unable to do that because we weren't hitting, and we'd make 7 errors, and not, I don't mean just scoring, scored as errors, but just dumb plays and thrown out on the bases and that sort of thing. If they can cut down on that, this team could scratch its way back into something. The NL Central is not loaded.
Look at this. Jim's
All right,
firing
all right,
shots.
all right. Yeah,
the
that's
two
okay,
oldest
Jim.
members.
All right, Jim.
Come
No spring
on.
chicken there yourself, buddy.
All right, so we got 39 entries in here. I apologize. I don't know what happened to this thing. We had 80 some, so it just, there was an error on the screen. I had to redo it. So here we go, Doug. Good luck to everybody.
Good luck.
This is our first sandwiches going out, so we will see who it is. Joe Ruffalo.
Joe
Congrats.
Ruffalo.
Joe, so you can just message us on social media or email us at northshore9 at gmail.com. We'll have download the Primanti's app if you already don't have it. So we'll get you the digital sandwiches. And I think I just go to draw again. So we will do our second drawing here. Here we go. There you go. Is that Sherrod?
In here. He's in here every night. He's diehard. So congrats, Sherrod.
There we go. Congrats. So yeah, like I said, email us northshore9 at gmail.com or just message us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you got. We can go. So congrats, guys, on the sandwiches. I'm sweating, Doug. That was it was a fun game. It was, like you said, look, as Pirate fans, we don't have too many exciting moments throughout a season. At least we haven't recently.
We haven't, right? Yeah.
And Skenes starts have become, must-watch TV, and especially against the world champs and Dodger Stadium, it was great to watch.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in these next 2 games. If we could just steal one of them, it'd be great. It'd be a great road trip and come back and play the Cubs. I hate the Cubs, so I would love to get a little momentum going into that. And I guess that's all. Thanks, guys. Go out and be nice to an old person today. Come on. Or not too well. Yeah, today.
maybe your boy Mitch Kettler will just keep things going and shut out the Dodgers too tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. He should be fine. Mitch Kettler. This is his year. I feel it.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, thanks again. We are out. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Thanks again, guys. See, I'll be back Sunday.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.
Good job, sir. Where's DiNardo? DiNardo wasn't in the chat tonight.
Did this end?
I sure hope so.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.